trade in any condition, and we'll give you $7,000 over Kelly Blue Book Fair market value toward the purchase of any new Kia in our giant inventory. Yes, $7,000 more than your trade is worth. Is your credit less than perfect? That's okay. At Kia Cleveland, our lenders will say yes to you and yes to your situation. Remember, we'll be any deal from anywhere in Georgia, Tennessee, or Alabama. So, if you want $7,000 over Kelly Blue Book Fair market value for your trade, come see me, John Davis, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Looking for the dealer who's gonna give you more. Kia of Cleveland Superstore.
Offer subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
KiaofCleveland.com.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. For a quarter of a century, Mix 104.1 has been taking you out to the ball game.
Swanson to first. The Braves are world champions.
Since 2000, Mix 104.1 has been the home of the Atlanta Braves, and we're celebrating by giving away tickets to Atlanta Braves games all summer long. Listen for your chance to call or text to qualify. You can also register at the Mix socials on Facebook and Instagram. Braves 25 is presented by Cleveland Ford. Honest people, honest deals. You're listening to Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. The Drive is coming up. The ESPN Cleveland 101.3 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. WholesaleSupply.us.
Hey, Andy Morris here. Join me along with my co-host on The Drive, presented by Hardees, weekdays at 5 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Cleveland and Bradley County's local sports show, weekdays at 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no slap. Got a thirst for killing. Think about it.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Getting the energy up here in the building. Slim Money Mason here with us. I'm Andy Morris along with Jim Gum. Having a good time today. But before we dive into anything, we want to make sure our listeners are aware. A lot going on. High school football today had media days. It was officially announced not long ago. The Bradley and Ooltewah Jamboree that was set to take place at Bradley High School tonight has been canceled. So that will not be taking place. And a lot of that is having to do with the mass floodings that have taken place throughout Hamilton County.
Yeah, of course, schools in Hamilton County were closed today, so the kids didn't attend school. So usually when stuff like that happens, any sporting event is typically not going to be played, especially when it's just like a scrimmage or a jamboree. So I get it. We had the media day. East Hamilton didn't show because of the same reason. So it was an unfortunate thing. Listen, put things in perspective. That was a very, very serious situation down in Hamilton County. I mean, we had some people that lost their lives.
Yeah.
Believe it. Obviously that's way more important than any football game. But, we were excited about it. But, I guess calmer heads prevailed, and we kind of figured that was going to be the case.
Yeah, I can't speak to the damage that happened, but I did travel down to Chattanooga today. The roads are back open. I went down the I-24 split and then ended up having to go towards East Ridge. Was able to get in and out of there just fine, but you look at all those videos and photos. I had a friend that was in Chewy's when the rain started going down and standing water inside of the restaurant.
That's crazy, man.
4 inches in an hour is that's a lot of rain, man. It's crazy.
I mean, yesterday I'm doing the show, and I know you guys were here, but it was raining. It was just a normal rain. I had no clue what was going on 25 miles down the road.
Yeah,
that's
same.
how close it was, and that's just Mother Nature for you. If you got that type of rain heading down there, and over here, which was about normal.
Yeah, one thing we've learned just from all the media coverage of what happened in Texas with the flooding there is that this stuff, they call it flash flooding for a reason.
That's right.
Because it happens in an instance, and luckily, I know all the service people in Chattanooga, as far as the fire department, the police department, all the EMTs, they were all out full force, and salute to those guys and women, because they were busting their tails yesterday. I've seen a lot of footage from that. We were talking about it before we went on, and man, so for it to hit so close to home here, just right down the road, a lot of us, we've worked in Chattanooga, went to school down, we consider Chattanooga home.
Yeah,
It's part of us.
I mean, but Cleveland and Hamilton County and Bradley County are side by side, and obviously it just takes just a couple minutes to get down the road.
And we
down
have
there.
a huge listening audience in Chattanooga, because we are the only all sports station in the greater Chattanooga area.
I know a lot of people that have downloaded the app, and they listen to us down there because they want to get their fix in, and they want to get their ESPN fix in, so they'll listen to the national shows, and they'll listen to us as well. So yeah, it is something that we are part of the Chattanooga fiber. I mean, part of the family down there for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, so we mentioned high school football. Of course, I'm going to repeat this one more time for anyone that just might now be joining the show. But Bradley Udawal, the jamboree that was set tonight at Bradley High School, has been canceled due to Hamilton County, obviously Udawal being out of school. But I want to give a shout-out to Udawal head football coach Matt Moody. He was present today at the media days for high school football that was at Life Care Centers. Jim, you helped run that over there. First of all, I was able to watch it. What a great event that was put on. You guys did a fantastic job. And a shout-out to all our head coaches and our student-athletes who showed up and participated. They did a really good job, and that's a great experience for those athletes.
The student-athletes, and I love it because, I'm one of these guys. The coaches get a lot of they talk and they do interviews all the time. So I was trying to get the student athletes involved, and some of these guys are just in a shell. They're like they don't want to talk, they don't want to answer, and it's so fun. Then you got some guys they're very outspoken, and they've got that that I guess that the way they are, they're more the extrovert, and some guys are more of an introvert. And it's so funny when I was in high school. I was such an introvert. I was a shy person, didn't want to talk about anything in front of anyone. Now I don't meet a stranger. So a lot of these guys, they'll become extroverts at some point, but right now you can tell they still have that little, they don't want to talk in public.
I'm going to give you the inside take here, Jim. Most of them are extroverts. You watch them walk through the hallways, and they are talking, and even to me, I'll walk up to them at a game or at a baseball game, and they'll talk your head off. The problem is when you put them in front of a microphone.
That's it, yeah.
Even if you're not showing their face on things, like when we interview guys after football games, they just got done playing the game, and they're happy, they're excited because they won, and you put that microphone in their face, and they act like it's the end of the world.
Humming.
I know, and then as soon as they get off air, they're like, "So how to do, Coach? Did I do all right?" It's funny. It's just it's a growing thing.
It's putting them on the spot, and that's why I love that we've incorporated that in the high school football media days put on here by our station WCLE, ESPN Cleveland, Mix 104.1, Oldies 99.1. And I think that it's really good for them to not only learn those skills of communication, but to be a part of something that's bigger than them. They get to represent their peers when they're there. So that's a big deal, and I really like that aspect of it. And it makes it seem a little bit more big time, like when you watch the Big Ten media days or the SEC media days. That's what those guys are doing down there, and it really kind of gets you fired up. We've been fired up for football in general here on the drive, but specifically high school football, we're days away. The countdown is there, and it's real. Things are getting real. The interviews are being had, and the jamborees are finishing up. All the scrimmages. So we're getting to a point now where we're excited to finally put the rubber to the road and get after it to open on a Thursday night, but also all the great Friday night games that are going to take place.
Well, middle school starts this week.
Yep.
High school starts next week. And then, 2 weeks after that, college starts. And then, you're already into the NFL stuff. Talking season is still going on. Going back to college, Mike Norvell So the quarterback tripled down, and then Mike Norvell was asked about it. Did you see the comments?
No, I did not.
He said, "There's a reason I didn't take that job. I'll leave it at that." Talking about the Alabama job. So talking season is still here for a few more weeks, but man, it's one of those, like, I text my buddy that's a Florida State fan, and I said, y'all are either going to pull off something really cool or y'all are going to get skull drug by these dudes as much as y'all have been talking. So it's going to be fun.
I got to say something before I forget. We're talking about, I was asking all the student athletes questions. When you watch the video, I want you to look at the faces on those Meigs County kids. They look like they're ready to beat someone up. They had their game face on. That's why I asked them. I said, because my whole life, Meigs County has had this reputation of being tough guys, tough dudes. And, man, they looked the part. Both those guys are standing up there. They both had that look in their face. I'm like, these guys are ready to play some football. And I love it. I love it, man. I think it's so cool.
One thing that stood out to me, talking about some tough guys and a lot of guys returning and a good team that you better keep your eye on, when Coach Bo Cagle and the McMinn County Cherokees took the podium,
Yep.
I said, that's a ball team right there. These guys mean business. Just off of what you're saying with Meigs County, I felt every single bit of it and saw every single bit of it whenever Coach Cagle started talking. That's a confident football team, and rightfully so. They got a lot of guys coming back, some very good athletes on that team, and some big, tough boys up front. When you put those things together, that's going to be a very successful season. My expectations for McMinn County are very high. I think they're the favorite to win the 5A region right now, Region 4 5A. And, of course, Walker Valley's a part of that region, East Hamilton, Ooltewah, newcomers, Saudi Daisy, and Lenoir City. So that's going to be a really fun region to keep up with. But I think all roads go through McMinn County right now.
I've got a buddy who's up on the coaching staff up at McMinn, and the amount of college coaches that are stopping by and the programs that are stopping by is telling to me about some of the talent and some of the dudes that they have on that team.
I got to tell you all this. So he's up there talking about rivalries. He said, Bradley, they got 3 rivalries. They got us. They've got, Walker Valley. They've got Cleveland. He goes, and he's talking about McMinn County. He goes, we got one rival, and that's Bradley. And I'm sitting there going, McMinn Central is just up here. They don't consider them a rival. No. Isn't that funny?
They're not really worried about that game because they pretty much recently and all time dominate that series.
But to not even say that it's a rivalry, he said, we have one rivalry, and that's Bradley Central. I was sitting there going, ooh.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
I mean, that's a pointed dig. I mean, it is.
Absolutely.
It's a pointed dig, and it's also, it's a look at the face of Bradley and say, like, hey, we're ready this year. So I love confidence. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, you go out there and you play the football game. So
That's right.
you get to sit here and talk on the mics. You get to sit here and do the interviews. But at the end of the day, those games will be played, and you either backed it up or you didn't.
And you don't have – it's not like a baseball series where you got 3 games and you can win 1 out of 3. Hey, you won 1. In football, you get 1 chance.
Yeah, maybe postseason.
In postseason, maybe. But if you're not in the same region, you get 1 chance.
Yeah.
And if you don't win that game, you got to live with it for 365 days.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so much fun in this town as well. The fact that we have 3 competitive, good football teams that all go to church together, they all go on vacation together, they do all this stuff together. You got 365 days to boast about what you just did.
I'll say this. You talk about the 3 teams here locally, and, of course, we kind of started talking about McMinn County. Put them in that mix because they're going to be extremely relevant in all 3 of these team seasons. McMinn County, Week 1, Black Friday against the Bears, the second longest running rivalry in the state of Tennessee when it comes to high school football. And you talk about coaches' tenure. We heard both the coaches. Damon Floyd's entering his 20th season at Bradley. Coach Cagle, his 19th season at McMinn. And that's extremely impressive in itself.
You don't see that these days.
And and we're going to talk about the transfer portal. We're digging into it today. But you've seen the results of that, being able to have a coach tenured for a long time. We've seen a lot of bodies go over to Bradley High School. We've seen kids transfer to McMinn because they want to be a part of the culture that's been established there, and they want to win football games. And there's some other reasons, too. Maybe they moved. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? We don't know. But that's where we are today with the transfer portal.
Well, Chris Brown, the new head coach at Cleveland, someone asked him a question about transfers, guys that have come in and guys that have left. He goes, listen, I'm not going to talk about the guys that aren't here.
And I loved that.
And he goes, I don't worry about those guys. I'm concerned about the guys that are here. He goes, and whatever happened, the reason they aren't here no more doesn't matter at all to me. And I love that. Like you said, these are my guys. It's kind of like, remember Hoosiers? And remember the one kid fouls out, and the other kid that had been disciplined by coming off the floor, he takes his warm-ups off, and he goes, what are you doing? He goes, going on the floor, coach. He goes, no, you sit right here. He goes, my team's on the floor.
Yeah.
4 guys. I love that. I love that mentality.
Yeah. I've been very impressed with Coach Brown so far at Cleveland High School, and I really just feel like we're blessed as a county. No matter what colors you're wearing in this town, you have a leader at the helm who cares about the kids, who is focused on getting them better at football, but is also focused on moving them forward in life as well. So not only do you have good football coaches, but you got good men in charge. So we are very, very blessed here to have the facilities, the coaches, and all the things that we have. And today was a good spotlight for all of that.
Yeah, going back to McMinn here for a second and their impact on the 3 local teams here in Bradley County. Starting off week 1, we talked about Black Friday, such a big deal. Week 2, they're taking on the Blue Raiders.
Whew.
So that's week 1, week 2, and Cleveland has to travel up there to McMinn County. It's a tough place to play. It's a very tough place to play.
Very similar to what's going on with Walker Valley. Look at their first 2 games.
And listen to this. Week 3, Walker Valley, McMinn. So McMinn is in the mix of all 3 of those schools.
They're all 3 playing each other week 1, week 2, week 3.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
When I first, I called the Walker Valley games on Friday night with Andy. So when the schedule dropped, I was like, man, week 1, week 2, week 3, like that's tough.
It's crazy.
But then
man.
I started looking at everybody else's schedules as they started to drop, and I was like, they've got
front-loaded
schedule.
schedules.
It's tough. The one game that you're waiting on is that Bradley Cleveland in week 7. But honestly, we'll be so deprived after week 3. We're itching for like another rivalry game because we just got 3 back-to-back that week 7 will probably hit different.
Yeah, and also kind of going back to what you said about Chris Brown at Cleveland. I've been able to talk to him about coming on our show, and I want all of our listeners to be aware. Mondays, we're going to have Chris Brown and our buddy Terry at some point every now and then coming on with us, talking Cleveland football every single Monday. We're doing the same thing with Walker Valley on Wednesdays and Bradley on Thursdays. Coach Floyd will be on the show talking Bradley football on Thursdays around 5:30, 5:35. Drew Akins on Wednesdays around that same time, and also on Monday again with Chris Brown talking Cleveland Blue Raider football on Monday. So we're going to have great inside coverage when it comes to what's going on with our high school football programs.
Yeah, we're lining up people to talk college as well, Tennessee, Georgia, the Titans, and the Falcons. So we're going to get all that stuff nailed down. And if you want to know about what's going on with your favorite high school team, your favorite college team, or your favorite professional team, this is the place to be.
Yeah, speaking of the Titans and the Falcons, I've got some things to add. They had a pretty chippy practice this week, so it's going to be fun to talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to definitely dive into some college and NFL here shortly. Another thing I want to point out from the great coverage today, that High School Football Media Days presented by Life Care, a great host for our station.
Absolutely.
And all the teams here locally. But we know that Bradley quarterback Tyler Cook, unfortunately, once again, and we'd heard some rumblings, we'd heard some things. Gary had talked to us, of course, the voice of the Bears, Gary Owenby, here at the station. We had a meeting the other night and told us, but Tyler Cook is out for the season, suffered an injury in their last scrimmage.
Against Alcoa.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for that young man because he's got so much potential.
It's 2 years in a row this is
2 years in a row where, he played a few snaps in week 1 last year and had the knee injury, and I believe this is a shoulder collarbone injury.
Clavicle, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely our hearts and prayers go out to him for a good, healthy, speedy recovery. Would love to be able to see that kid get back on the field at some point. I don't know the timeline of that, but it does sound like it's season-ending injury. I'll get that out here in a second. But again, his younger brother, Tucker Cook, going to be the one taking the snaps, and started 6 games last year. So you're going to have some experience coming back at the quarterback position. Probably not the same maturity you would have got with his older brother, but I'm excited for the opportunity that his brother has because he held the job down last year and even learned a new offense. There's a lot that goes into learning an offense, and to be able to mid-season take that over, as a freshman last year. He's a sophomore, got that maturity. I'm excited to see with the weapons that he has around him as well, how this works out for the Bradley offense.
Yeah, I just think it adds another wrinkle, if I'm being real. Like, I think in year 2 with the little brother, like, he probably starts airing it out a little bit more. He's gotten a little bit bigger. He's gotten a little bit stronger. He's gotten a little bit faster now, but you also have the opportunity to go back under and run some of that wing tee stuff. And with a few notable transfers, that can be really dangerous between the guys that they would have running the ball and then guys that they could have out wide as well and running some things. To me, I hate it for the young man that's injured, but also, like, thinking of a scheming mind, that adds some wrinkles that teams probably weren't preparing for week 1 and week 2.
I'll say this, and I haven't seen Bradley not one snap. They're not going to be a 3-7 team this year.
Nope.
They've got too much talent for that to happen. So if you're a Bradley High School football fan, I think the future's bright. I think the future's very bright at Cleveland too, guys. I'm telling you, I'm very impressed with Coach Brown there. He's just doing a phenomenal job.
One thing that you can always expect from a Bradley football team is their aggressiveness. Talking about attacking the football defensively, they're going to defensively be a tough team. They obviously added the body of A.J. Westfield on that front line of the defense. He's committed to Tulane, as Coach Floyd talked about today. We saw what he did at Cleveland last year, and a lot of people said this is the best kid, not in our town, but in our area. In Southeast Tennessee, this is the best kid around. So he's going to have a huge impact.
Well, some Baylor kids might question that.
Yeah, they might. You're exactly right.
Did you see the video of the Baylor running back against Maryville?
He's a monster.
They're unbelievable. There.
Oh, my goodness.
They look like a small college team down there at Baylor. I mean, they really do. And I know what you meant, public schools, what you
yes,
mean, of course.
And
but going back to A.J. Westfield, when he wants to move somebody out of his way, they're not going to be standing there very long.
That's a big man.
Walker Valley probably had its biggest offensive line that it's had in a long time last year. And when he wanted a body out of the way, he would get him out of the way. He's just a very talented player, and it's hard to scheme for a kid like that.
Yeah, to have his size and athleticism in one makes him a unique player. And guess what? That plays at the D1 level, and that's why he's been recruited by big-time D1 schools and is committed to Tulane.
I mean, Tulane's a good football school.
It is.
I mean, they've got a really good thing going on down there right now, so good for him.
Yeah, and I thought the players that Coach Floyd brought did a great job at Media Day.
They did.
You can tell those are good leaders.
Yeah, listen, I'm so impressed with these kids for all these schools. Some shined a little bit more, and like you were talking about, some kids have a little bit more. They're intimidated by microphones. Some are not. But like you said, I mean, I'm just going by when the microphone's in front of their face, how some of them like clam up, and some of them are very, very well spoken. And I just think it's cool to get that kind of exposure at a young age. It really is.
Yeah, going over to the other school in our group here, Walker Valley, Coach Aikens, of course. No,
that man can talk.
Not
now.
afraid of a microphone.
No.
And we joke around with him about it, but he really is. He's comfortable, and you get a lot of information from him. He's a great interview. We look forward to having him on each and every Wednesday, correct, is when we're doing Coach Aikens?
Right.
It's either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to confirm that and make sure. But he brought Roman Yulo, who is probably one of the most sought wide receivers in the state of Tennessee, currently committed to Austin Peay. Listen, I'm saying what I'm saying. We'll see how long that lasts because he's going to have some offers rolling in.
You think so?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
And so Roman did a great interview today along with Aiden Burns. Aiden is a kid who Jacob and I both have been able to watch for a long time, him and Roman both. Great leadership on the defensive side of the ball from Aiden and on the offensive side of the ball from Roman, who we heard Coach Aikens today say Roman's not just going to be a receiver for us this year. He can play wide back, he can play running back, he can play quarterback, he can play tight end.
Yeah, very versatile.
Yeah, he's going to be used a lot of different ways, and guess what? That game film, that plays. Man,
you got that right.
It plays big time.
Yeah, he can play anywhere on the field. And he's been a steady, like, those guys that you see in college football that you're like, dude, it feels like he's been there for like 7 years.
Yeah,
he's been so active in Walker Valley's offense for so long that he is just part of their DNA at this point in time. But then you talk about Burns, Like, he's one of those kids, and a lot of kids in this town are like this, but he's one of those kids, when he steps onto any field that he's competing on, you see it in his eyes. Like, the moment he walks on a field, you see it in his eyes. He's a gamer. He's a ball player. He's a leader. He's quick as all get out. He's not afraid to make contact. And so, Walker Valley, something that Drew Akins has brought there is, and I think he might have said something like this today, they respect their rivals, but they're not afraid of them.
That's exactly right.
And they play smash mouth football.
Yeah, they do. What's interesting to me is that most of the teams by this time have elected their captains, but there are a couple schools that still haven't gone that route. So I have a sneaky suspicion that some of the kids that were there at the media day today will probably be named captains. But obviously, captains are usually not appointed by the coach, but they're voted on by their peers.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I was so impressed with these young men that were at there today. I wish you guys could have been there. I know that you're working now, so it's not like you're going to the pool and had to get out of the pool to come to it.
Jacob's tan's disappearing, by the way.
By the way,
slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. But it was a great day today.
And you're talking about these kids that are potential leaders, captains. The kid at Walker Valley, transfer quarterback Chase Stevens, is a kid that's got a lot of attention on him, got a big arm, good-sized kid. He's bringing a lot of energy there in the weight room to the practice field. I know his teammates love him. That's something that, you're going to pay attention to, and you're going to pay attention to those matchups when Walker Valley's playing Cleveland. Kid transfers from Cleveland. When Cleveland's playing Bradley, you've got some exchange there. When Walker Valley plays Bradley, arguably Walker Valley's best player, one of their best players last year, Spencer McCooch, is now on Bradley's team. So with all this transfer stuff going on, there's going to be a little bit of drama. There's going to be a little bit of conversation mixed in. And at the end of the day, got to be excited about all these matchups. But, again, all of our high school football segments here on The Drive are presented by Food City. Food City, big-time sponsor for us with all of our high school football coverage.
Yeah, and just be clear, we're not going to be shy about it. It's the world we live in. Kids can transfer. They can go other places. It's going to be a topic that we talk about, and, it's not going to be something that we run away from here because it's what we're going to be seeing each week, every summer during that time. So.
Yeah, listen, we had our meeting, what was it, Tuesday, Jim?
Yeah. Here at the station. It was Monday.
Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. So we had our meeting, and I even tried to trade Jacob for a refrigerator, and it didn't work out too well.
I heard about that. The trade rumors were swirling. I hope that it was one of those fancy refrigerators with the double doors, the pull-out, freezer, and like the fancy ice. Because if you were trying to trade me for a little mini fridge, you got to talk.
What was the last time you went fridge shopping? You can actually. There's apps you can put on your phone to look inside your refrigerator right now. That's how high tech they are, and that's the kind of refrigerator he's got.
I hope so.
Gary Ownby has been doing Bradley football games for so long. He's got the setup there in the Corky Whitlock press box where it's beautiful. He's got all the bells and whistles and gadgets. Anything he needs is right there with him. They take care of him over there. And I said, listen, we need a refrigerator. Gary, you want to take Jacob and give me your refrigerator? And he just kind of looked at me and walked the other way. So I don't, whatever that means.
Yeah, I'm going to take that as a no. I'll take it as a no. Maybe I can get our friends at LB Appliance to donate one to you.
Hey, listen, again, great high school football coverage. We appreciate you guys joining us here on The Drive today. We got a lot to talk about. We'll probably talk a little bit more high school football, especially if we get some updates while we do that. Again, presented by Food City. Thank you, Food City, for your sponsorship of all of our high school football coverage. With that, we're going to go to break. When we come back, got a lot to talk about in the world of college football, NFL football, Atlanta Braves.
Ben Bobick has been redeemed.
Oh, man, he sure has.
We'll get into that.
All when we come back right here on The Drive.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit, split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hip or knee pain holding you back? There's a new reason to feel hopeful. Dr. Andrew Carlone is now part of the team at Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics in Cleveland. He brings advanced training in total hip and knee replacement, including minimally invasive techniques that get you back on your feet faster. Let Cleveland's orthopedic experts help you live your best life. Call 423-624-2696 or go to sportmed.com to book your visit now.
For a quarter of a century, Mix 1041 has been taking you out to the ball games.
Swanson to first. The Braves are world champions.
Since 2000, Mix 1041 has been the home of the Atlanta Braves, and we're celebrating by giving away tickets to Atlanta Braves games all summer long. Listen for your chance to call or text to qualify. You can also register at the Mix socials on Facebook and Instagram. Braves 25 is presented by Cleveland Ford. Honest people, honest deals. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Rock City and Ruby Falls are fun, but have you been down the Ocoee, camped at Harrison Bay, or on top of Fort Mountain? We are blessed with beautiful adventures all around us. And Honda Cleveland has the Honda to take you there. Hurry in for $5,000 off your choice of 25 Accord or CRV Hybrid. $5,000 off. Or choose 2.99% financing on Accord and CRV Hybrid. Either way, you'll see why KBB.com has named Honda America's best value brand. You can saddle up a new Ridgeline pickup too with financing as low as 0.99% for 60 months, and that'll save you hundreds in financing. Or if you need service, parts, and tires, at Honda Cleveland you can get the work done now and pay over time with up to 3 months interest-free, with no hard credit check and a 90% approval rate. You've got some exploring to do, and we've got your ticket to ride. Honda Cleveland, your car, your way, every day. I-75 exit 20, 1 mile east. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Hey, our friends at Duracell are now hiring mechanical skilled technicians, $22 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com. And you are listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. And, of course, when we went to break, we talked a little bit about Ben Bobick, and he made the comment, I guess it's been a month ago, that it's official that Tennessee's switching to Adidas. Well, today it is officially official because we got the press release from the University of Tennessee that they are in fact switching to Adidas, that beginning in 2026. So all your Vols stuff that's got the Nike swoosh on it, well, it's time to get the 3 stripes from Adidas now because starting 2026, Tennessee going back to Adidas.
Yeah, listen, I know there are a lot of people out there that are not excited about this change, but it does sound like Adidas is kind of taking some notes and said, listen, we understand what you guys didn't like about our first go-around together. We're going to get your colors right. That's been a top of the chart thing as far as what needs to be done during this transition, and they're claiming it. They're saying it now that the Tennessee orange is going to remain the Tennessee orange, and it's going to be the same across all the merchandise, and that color palette is set. So we'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see.
Yeah. So one of the main points for this, outside of the money, let's just get the money out of the way.
Yeah, it's $20 million.
It's $20 million. Yeah. They're making,
as opposed to what were they
5.5 with Nike.
Yeah.
And so your Adidas is making you the Notre Dame of Under Armour. They're making you the Oregon of Nike.
That's right.
They're making you their premier brand. They're giving you more money than anybody else. And the big thing to me, it says Tennessee will have primary creative control for uniform design in the new deal with Adidas. Danny White to Brent Hubbs, we're going to honor our past, celebrate our traditions while also innovating for the future. We have creative control. So
that's big.
That's big news because at the end of the day, I trust Tennessee to get what they want right.
What that means is they're going to collaborate very well together. They're going to sit down and Tennessee's going to say, What do you have for us, Adidas? Adidas will present stuff. Tennessee will say, "Time out." First of all, get that out.
Get that out of here.
And they're already going to have such a good foundation, Adidas that is, of knowing what the volunteers, what the fans want. So that's going to be established from the get-go. I think this, obviously you said it, Jacob, financially it was a no-brainer, but I really think this is going to be a good relationship.
Yeah, another Danny White quote. Adidas recognizes our potential and responded with one of the best apparel deals in the history of college sports, prioritizing Vol Nation and the Tennessee brand. We refuse to partner with someone who does not feel the same way. And basically that's a shot at Nike because Nike didn't even counter.
Here's my thing. Tennessee needs to not overthink this. Tennessee has great traditional uniforms. That's not what they've been wearing the last 5-6 years, okay? I do not like what Tennessee's been wearing. I don't like the number font. I don't like the funky letters that they've used. Go back to a nice plain block, just like what Georgia has, what Tennessee has, what Alabama has, what Ohio State has, Penn State. Typical block numbers.
Oklahoma, Texas.
Yeah, the traditional block numbers. You don't have to do anything nutty. And listen, and if Tennessee rolls out of there with something you don't like, you can blame it on Tennessee because Tennessee is deciding and designing these uniforms. And so if you don't like what they come out in, don't yell at Adidas. You got to yell at Tennessee because Tennessee has control of this.
Yeah, and something that I feel like a lot of Vol fans are sitting at home. I don't like Adidas. I don't like that Tennessee moved to Adidas. I do like that my university has money. I do like that they've been put in a better position because of it. There's probably going to be some tug and pull there. Give Adidas a shot. It's not Adidas of 2014. It's not. It's a new brand. I thought of this. I bet you Tennessee soccer team is up there jumping up and down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Crazy excited.
Yep.
But it's not the Adidas of old. Give them a shot. If you've got creative control, you're going to get the splash of orange that you want on every single uniform. So to me, that speaks a lot about how important it was to the University of Tennessee that they get it right, that they said, if you want us to do this, we're in charge of what it looks like.
Listen, when Tennessee won the national championship in 1998, they were wearing Adidas.
Feels like 98, baby.
They were wearing
like
Adidas.
98.
So it's not like Tennessee didn't have a lot of success wearing Adidas uniforms. They did. And listen, you can talk about the other sports, basketball, track, soccer, whatever. This is a football deal, okay? It's all about football. And, yes, we understand that Adidas is the cool thing, like the swoosh of Nike. But, man, you can win. You can be a successful
Well, do you know
program.
what makes it cool? When Tennessee goes
When you
out
win.
and is winning big
When you
games,
win.
that's going to make Adidas cool.
That's exactly right. Just, remember Al Davis? Just win, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just win. You win
win,
with the 3 stripes from Adidas, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it personally. And Jacob can tell you this. I've never been a huge Nike guy, and many reasons why. I think that's the easy go-to for a lot of these universities, these
What would
colleges.
y'all say? 70% of schools wear Nike?
Yeah, I would say 70 to 80.
Yeah.
And a lot of them kind of sacrifice some of that money in order to wear Nike just because they want to wear Nike. And listen, our friend Stephen Shelton joined the show a few weeks back and talked about it. Like, the kids, the recruits, they want to wear Nike. And he's not lying. Like, that's the truth. It really is. But at the end of the day, there are things so much more important than that little 2.5-inch logo that's on the uniform.
You mean that little S with the 2 lines going through it?
That is more important. That dollar sign
Yeah, that's right.
is more important. And that's going to help you with your recruiting. And if it's that big of a deal, I promise you, when those kids that are worried about that kind of stuff get on campus and they see all the stops that Adidas is pulling out for them, they're going to forget about it. And maybe one or two don't.
The NIL is more important than the swoosh.
It
or
is.
The three or the
At
3
this
lines.
point,
from
it
the-
is.
It is. That's just the reality. We were talking. I was talking to someone about this the other day. It used to be facilities were everything. You got to have the best. The kids are not as interested in the facilities as they are the check, the numbers being on their check that's being paid out to them. So your priorities have changed. You got to have good facilities. Don't get me wrong, but it's all about what these kids can make financially. It doesn't matter if it's a Nike. It doesn't matter if it's Adidas. It doesn't matter if you got the nicest facilities in the world or yours are mediocre. The kids are going to go where they can make the most money. That's just the reality.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I think most fans are not upset about what they're going to be wearing on the field on Saturdays. I think they're more upset about the fan apparel. If we're just being real.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And let's just be honest. Adidas, their collared shirts are not great. There was a few coaching years where we were Adidas, didn't love it. Didn't like how they fit. Just not a fan of them. That's more of, I think, of Tennessee's frustration is they finally got to Nike. They loved how it looked. They loved how it fit.
They knew what their size was.
You got the Pegasus stuff. Like it just all of that was easy, and now they're going back into this is it going to be the same? Is it not? But we live in a different age than we did in 2014.
The footwear is important too. What we wear, but more so what the student athletes wear.
Yeah.
The football cleats, the basketball shoes, and everything. So obviously that's important for Tennessee as well. Now personally, I like Nike footwear. I just do. I've always been more comfortable in it than I have any other brand. But I'm just an old man walking with tennis shoes on. It doesn't matter if I like them or not. It matters to the athletes that are playing on the field. How good are these cleats? How good are those sneakers on the basketball floor? So those are real important things there.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so some other stuff going on up there in Knoxville. It does sound like that quarterback Joey Aguilar is kind of trending toward winning that starting job. Yeah. I know we've had our opinions here on the show, but I said this before we went on air to Jim. Are you really making that move if you're Joey Aguilar to Tennessee, leaving UCLA to come to Tennessee, if you think there's a chance that you're not going to win the job? Are you making that move, or are you going to go somewhere where they really need a quarterback? And a lot of people kind of put Tennessee in that category. You've got a couple younger guys. One's really young.
True freshman.
And then you got another guy who's been around a little bit, got some experience, but very unproven. And then you've got a guy in Aguilar who's very proven.
Right.
We saw what he did at App State.
McIntyre, listen, I think the future is bright at Tennessee with McIntyre, but he's a true freshman. The chances of him starting early in the season are very, very slim. Now, he may start late in the season. We don't know. But I think right now, Merklinger was the guy that was going against Aguilar. So I think it's pretty predictable. We thought this was going to happen. But we'll see how he plays against, I think, a really, really good Syracuse team. So we'll all be able to give our own opinion after game number one, because we'll be able to see whether he's the real deal or not.
Yeah, another question mark for Tennessee fans is obviously replacing the running back. You know, you're losing a lot of production there, but they're running back coach Sims, had a lot of really good things to say about his running back room. One of them being Deshaun Bishop, who we got to cover when he was at Carnes, got to call a game up there, was an absolute stud. Another one that he talked about was Peyton Lewis. Said he looks like a Greek god walking out there. So, you know, they're it seems like they're high on their running back group, and we know if the running backs can produce yards and are able to run the football, that opens up the passing game a whole lot more as well. So as of right now, like it sounds like Knoxville has some good things going and feels pretty confident with what they have.
Well, I think Knoxville is excited about this football team. I'm excited to watch them play Syracuse. We can only talk so much about what we think's going to happen. I want to know. I want to see it. I'm so ready for the actual games to begin. I know my patience is running out, but thank goodness high school football is getting ready to kick off. I mean, you know, I guess the freshmen or the JV teams are already about to kick off too. So it's here. We've got to see some NFL preseason, and so yeah, I'm just ready for the games. I'm ready to start speculating. I want to be able to sit here and critique the actual play on the field.
The good thing is talking season for us is not over.
No.
Talking season for coaches and players and all that stuff is coming to an end. For us, we're going to get to talk about it and talk to you guys.
But talk about the actual results on the field.
What's going on, and I can't wait, man. There's still a lot of jawing going on. You know, it's right there before the season started. Like there was a Miami offensive lineman that said that Florida D tackle is not hard to guard. Posted it online. It's just that bulletin board material.
Well, it's like the Florida State and Alabama stuff that's been going on. Listen, I mean, Texas and Ohio State are doing some talking. I'm sure they're probably talking Iowa State and Kansas State over there when they traveled over to Dublin to play. I love it. I love bulletin board material. More often than not, it doesn't mean a hill of beans once the ball snapped.
Yeah.
Once you've snapped that ball and you've hit, now let's work on the game plan. Work on the game plan.
I will say, though,
works
It changes preparation. I think I think it really can. If it's something that you're focused on, like coaches putting stuff up in the locker room, quotes, stuff like that, right before you're about to go out and work. Georgia has, they call it Bloody Tuesdays. If somebody's talking trash about Georgia and you're about to go to a Bloody Tuesday, get all that frustration out and get prepared. We can't play them on the radio, but if you have never heard a Kirby Smart pregame speech and you don't mind a little language, go listen to it, because it makes me want to run through a wall, and it's because of people that run their mouth.
I love it. I love Coach Speak. And yeah, you're right. We couldn't play.
Not even like a 5-second segment.
We all watch football games, and you have the field mic. There's a lot of stuff being said that you would not want to hear. But that's football, man. That's relative. I mean, let me ask you something. You play golf?
Yeah.
Right. You hit the ball in the woods? Probably saying something.
Yeah.
It's like hitting your thumb with a hammer. Probably going to say something. When football, you're getting hit all the time. Stuff comes out.
Listen, I bet Kirby Smart has some really flat thumbs.
Yeah,
well,
you're right.
One thing that I always try to remind people is don't hear the tone, hear the message. Like the intensity sometimes, it is a lot, but like football is an intense sport. When I coached football, I talked about it's like an aggressive game of chess. If you don't make a decision like soon, you're losing, and they're going to exploit whatever you're not doing. So the intensity is really high. Don't listen to the volume of my voice, but listen to the message that I'm trying to get across.
Could you imagine the difference between a Mark Richt speech and a Kirby Smart speech?
Oh,
you
Lord.
talk about polar opposites.
Yeah.
Mark Richt, I don't think that man's ever said a bad word in his life. But that's just but very effective though.
Yeah.
The guy could flat out coach, and he could motivate. But no, it's different. It's a different way that different guys do it. I love it. I think it's really fun. I love to watch this stuff, and it doesn't. I'm not one of these people that sits there and says a lot of stuff, language wise, but I get. It cracks me up when I see some of this stuff. It really does. I just love it.
Yeah. Again, big news today was the high school football media days at Life Care Centers of America. And again, all of our high school football coverage here on the Drive and ESPN Cleveland, brought to you by Food City. We appreciate their partnership. And, we dove in and talked about a lot of different dynamics, and some teams weren't able to make it for different reasons. And everything's right around the corner, but I want to talk to you for just a second, Jim. You were there, and you talk about – I'm listening to what you guys are saying about Kirby Smart, and you talk about a guy with presence and a directed intensity. I kind of get that vibe from Chris Brown, the new head coach at Cleveland High School.
He's one of these guys. He walks into a room and he owns the room. I know this sounds nuts, but there was a more of a presence with him. This is for me personally. I can't speak for everyone else that was there today, but when he walked in, there was a presence about him that I didn't feel like anyone else. And I'm not saying that. And I'm a Bradley guy. Okay, I believe black and gold. So I'm Bradley Central High School. But there's something about this Chris Brown guy. I think Cleveland's got themselves a really good football coach, and he is all about the players on the roster that right now. What the guys that aren't there, he doesn't have any. Doesn't bother him at all. These are his guys, and he's focused on these guys. So you're right. He has a presence about him.
One thing that he mentioned today that I did really like, he talked about opportunities. He was talking about his secondary, and he was talking about a kid that I watched play middle school football last year who's a freshman is going to be playing in the secondary. He's got faith in him. And for a new coach to be able to come in and take chances on a young guy like that, first of all, it tells you got some good young talent. For one, but you're having to replace a lot of bodies, be it kids that have graduated, kids that have transferred, but there's a lot of opportunity, and you could just tell listening to McGowan, the quarterback, talk that this is a team that's already bought into what he's teaching, what he's talking about. And I there's been some people out there that are kind of thinking, obviously Westfield's gone. Obviously, the receiver,
Braden Carroll.
Yeah, Braden Carroll, he's gone. Like, we get it, we know, but you look at the weapons that they still have that are coming back, that leadership. He said there's 9 seniors on that team, I believe.
I think
he
so.
said some of them are new seniors.
Yep.
But talk about guys that are coming into a culture by a guy that's setting the culture. And I agree. I think Chris Brown's the real deal.
I tell you, I asked him a question that we asked him on the air here. I flat out said, why Cleveland? Why did you come back to Cleveland? And he's Cleveland's a desirable school in this state. And he said, I would have never left had it not been the situation that presented itself there at Red Bank. He loves this area. He loves the administration. He loves the athletic director. Don't know about that.
Listen, you got to watch out for that guy.
But he loves the culture at Cleveland High School. And so, if you're a student athlete, I'm telling you, Cleveland would be a desirable place for my child if I thought he had a chance to be a good football player. Not taking anything away from any other school. I'm telling you, I think Cleveland's got themselves a winner there.
Jacob threw a stat out about his time as the head coach at Red Bank. It was pretty impressive.
I think it was like something like 40. We posted about it, but it was like something like 40-4. It was like really, really impressive of his time at Red Bank, and then having the opportunity to coach at a place like Baylor and go be the defensive coordinator and learn from great minds.
Associate head coach, pretty much. Too.
Yeah. And get to do all of that, and then the opportunity to come to Cleveland. I think all three of our schools do such a great job of creating school pride, but like as a Cleveland grad myself, when you walk in the building as a sixth grader, you bleed blue. And I'm sure that's the same.
And Damon Floyd does the same thing at Bradley.
All of those. But I remember graduating from Cleveland, and it's just that pride factor. And Cleveland, this area in general, all three schools are very desirable jobs to have because of the cultures that are in place. But it's amplified with a guy like Coach Brown that walks in, that loves it, that wants to be in the building, that wants to be a Raider, and gets to take that love that he has for the school and press it onto the student body as well.
Think about the difficult situation that Cleveland was put in when they let go of the previous coach. And we all know, he had applied for jobs elsewhere, and that really just rubbed them the wrong way. And, man, did they hit a home run when they got Coach Brown? You couldn't have asked for – this was absolutely a perfect situation for Cleveland High School, when in reality it could have been a disaster.
No, you're absolutely right. And you talk about consistency. You look at Coach Floyd, 20 years. Entering his 20th season at Bradley. You look at Walker Valley. Drew Akins, I believe, is entering his seventh already, that's hard to believe. Yeah. I mean, it seems like he was just hired on a couple of years ago. But the consistency that those guys have created, and little insight here, this is a guy who the administration over there, the athletic director over there, great guy, by the way, takes care of me every once in a while.
Yeah.
But they were confident with Chris Brown having been in that building before, knowing the community, knowing the kids. He was an assistant coach at Cleveland prior to taking that Red Bank job. This is a guy who wanted to be there, wanted to be in Cleveland.
That's what he said. He said, this is where I want to be. He even called it his dream job. When you call a high school in Bradley County at Cleveland High School your dream job, you've got a guy. You got the right guy. There's no question. I think Bradley, Cleveland, and Walker Valley all have outstanding coaches, and they're all winners. And, man, we are so lucky, man, for sure, to have these guys in our backyard.
Yeah, listen, I want to say the same thing about Ottawa and Ray County, too. I know those head coaches very well, played with Matt Moody in junior high and grew up with him. Matt Moody is so excited to get that job.
And he's excited about his quarterback.
He is.
I'm telling you, man.
So, Ottawa, they're on the rise. They're on their way back up. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have Coach Moody come on a little bit here throughout the next few weeks as we get into the season. But I think he's going to do a great job at Ottawa, and he was excited to get that job, obviously coming from McMinn Central. And then, of course, at Ray County, got a lot of friends on that coaching staff at Ray County. Coach Harvey, you talk about a team who kind of took advantage of some transfers. They've got some bodies in there, and they're an athletic team. They're kind of a throwback when it comes to that hard-nosed football as well. So in this area, high school football, we're about to be in full swing. We're extremely excited about it. So be on the listen for us as we have continuous high school football coverage presented by Food City. With that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit of Major League Baseball. Atlanta Braves disappointing us yet again. Spencer Strider having some struggles. Got to get that guy right to get ready for 2026. But all that when we come back right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Hardees is hiring. Join the Star Team. Flexible scheduling, daily pay, free meals, 20% family discount, plus paid vacation for part-time and full-time employees. Apply in-store or online at hardees.com today. When it comes to protecting what matters most, it makes sense to choose an insurance agent that's a part of your community. Your local Allstate agent knows the ins and outs of both owning and protecting a home in your neighborhood. By choosing a local Allstate agent, you get an expert who knows the community and is committed to getting to know you. Which means George Gray can help you get the protection you want that fits you and your life. Are you in good hands? Contact George Gray, Allstate Insurance today for a free quote.
So what's the best way to pick a local law firm? Google 5-star reviews, of course. There are some local law firms with a few. There are some, though, that have a few more. Yeah. But if you want the local law firm with the most 5-star reviews, well, that would be Warren and Griffin by a long shot.
I'm Seymour. I'm John Moore. We have more 5-star reviews than any law firm in this area.
Call us at 265-HURT. We are your local law firm.
Check your wallet. Empty? Check your bills. Overdue? Check your stress level. Maxed? Now, check into cash. Check into Cash is your one-stop money shop, and we've got everything you need. Payday loans and flex lines of credit options? Check. Quick in-store services like money orders and wire transfers? Check. Turn your unused gift cards into cash? Oh yeah, check. And yes, we cash checks. All kinds. Fast. Check that off your list. Visit checkintocash.com or check into a store to get started. The process is simple, quick, and designed to get you the help you need fast. If you've been approved, you can leave with cash in hand. We have locations in the Chattanooga area, including Cleveland and Athens. Check in, cash out, and get on with life. Check into Cash. We fund today to make a better tomorrow. Subject to state regulations, eligibility, credit check, underwriting, and approval. Rates, restrictions, and fees apply. Visit the store for details.
Cleveland Tire Center, locally owned and operated for over 45 years. Cleveland Tire, your one-stop auto care shop in Cleveland. North Lee Highway, where the name says it all.
Hip or knee pain holding you back? There's a new reason to feel hopeful. Dr. Andrew Carlone is now part of the team at Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics in Cleveland. He brings advanced training in total hip and knee replacement, including minimally invasive techniques that get you back on your feet faster. Let Cleveland's orthopedic experts help you live your best life. Call 423-624-2696 or go to sportmed.com to book your visit now.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad veins.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. For over 100 years, Mayfield Dairy has been delivering farm fresh dairy beloved by Southern families. Learn more about Mayfield today at mayfielddairy.com. Mayfield Dairy, big-time supporters here on The Drive of the Atlanta Braves, who unfortunately last night had a tough go of it. Looked like, early it looked good. The Braves bats were popping. It seems like pretty consistently the Braves offense has been showing up night after night. Unfortunately, Spencer Strider had a very, very tough night, took the loss. That's his 10th on the season. Braves ended up dropping that game 13-5. Big night for the Polar Bear for the New York Mets.
Yeah, now he's the all-time home run leader in New York Mets history. And honestly, I thought that Darryl Strawberry had hit more than that in his time in New York.
Yeah, Pete Alonso, man, he's
what, 253? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought that Strawberry had hit like 300 home runs in New York, but obviously he hit about 300. But I guess some with the other franchises. But good for Pete Alonso.
Listen, my favorite Pete Alonso moment, doing deadlifts during the home run derby.
Yeah,
tells you all you need to know about.
He takes that seriously, man. He takes the home run derby seriously.
He's a nut. Hey, Braves Mets tonight, first pitch, 7:10 right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, also on Mix 104.1, and all of our Braves coverage presented by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. Carlos Carrasco back on the bump for the Bravos tonight. Hopefully he could get the good pitching back in the realm of Braves play. Wasn't there last night. And you talk about Strider. You just hope he's ready for 2026. It's a little concerning.
I mean, listen, every pitcher has her off. I mean, for crying out loud, Paul Skeens got lit up last night. I mean, if you light him, of course, that is the Milwaukee Brewers, by the way. They're lighting up everybody.
One of the best teams in baseball.
I think 12 straight. They won again today. So, yeah, so it happens to the best of them. It does. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, listen, great day today. Enjoyed some high school football coverage over there at Life Care Centers of America.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Gives us a lot to look forward to. With that, it's the end of the show. We'll be back right here tomorrow. Jacob, you got anything for us?
Finish Line Radio's coming up next.
Boogity. Oh, he was ready to go.
I've missed it, man.
That was a Speedway Classic button, by the way.
No, hey, it's a NASCAR button, baby.
Hey, you've been listening to The Drive for Jim Gum, Jacob Mason. I'm Andy Morris. Have a great day, everybody.